Hello, I'm Kai. We are going to talk about your brain. So this is your brain. This is the control center of everything you got going on. Everything that your body does to maintain homeostasis, to control movement, to monitor body functions, all of that is happening in here. The cerebrum is the largest part of your brain, and there are 4 major lobes in the cerebrum: your frontal, parietal, occipital, and your temporal. So your frontal lobe is the part of your brain that makes you. So your conscious decision making and thoughts, planning, personality, speech, and your voluntary movement are all happening here in the frontal lobe of your brain. The parietal lobe is kind of your sensory center. So this is what's going to interpret touch, pressure, temperature, pain, and kind of like your body's position, where it's at in space. The occipital lobe back here is the eye of your brain. So this whole region is just responsible for processing vision. And your temporal lobe right here is the ear of your brain, and also where you process language and memory. So we also have the diencephalon. This is below the cerebrum, and it contains the thalamus and the hypothalamus. So your thalamus is kind of like a relay station, which transmits the sensory information to the right areas of the brain. And the hypothalamus helps maintain homeostasis in the body. It regulates blood pressure, temperature. It lets you feel that you're hungry, thirsty, need to sleep, all of that kind of thing. And it releases melatonin from the pituitary gland. And then down here, you have your brain stem, which goes down into the spinal cord. So your brain stem has the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla oblongata. So your midbrain helps with hearing, vision, and movement. The pons regulate your breathing, serve as a bridge between different parts of the brain so that they can communicate together. And the medulla oblongata is what controls your heart rate, your blood pressure, breathing. And so that part is really important. Then you have your cerebellum, which is kind of back here behind the brainstem. And your cerebellum coordinates your voluntary muscle movement. So not like the things like your muscles, contracting in your stomach to digest food and stuff, but this is like, your nerve impulses telling your fingers to move and write and all of that kind of thing. And it helps us stay coordinated, and not just, pick up a coffee cup and slam it right into our face. Helps control those voluntary body movements. And so one way to kind of think about each part of the brain is that the cerebrum is kind of like the boss of the brain that makes the decisions. Your thalamus is kind of like the mailroom, which decides where certain information is going to go. Hypothalamus is kind of like a thermostat, keeping everything in check, keeping homeostasis, at balance. Your brainstem is kind of like just, controlling your automatic functions, and your cerebellum is the coach that basically tells your body how to move and what to move. And all of this is happening in just a really small, really complicated little network of tissues in your skull. That's the brain.